We all have opinions when it comes to power scaling Godzilla characters, and everyone has an opinion on how strong a character or version is. But one that seems to be the most controversial and disagreed is the version of Godzilla featured in the Monsterverse. Legendary Godzilla or Monsterverse Godzilla is an ancient titan. From ancient times, he is an alpha titan that defends Earth from hostile monsters around the world. But he also has a crazy amount of power to defend himself and good combat skills. What makes him stand out though, is how he's almost portrayed like a superhero, but filmmakers made it clear he is far from that. More of an anti-hero at best. Godzilla's morals are for the sake of planet Earth, not humanity exclusively. So what makes him so hard to power scale? Bit of a twist, but it's fan reception. Due to the fan base of the Godzilla franchise being split when it comes to this guy. Fans either say MV is pretty strong, or is one of the weakest Godzillas out there. Most of the haters say that MV Godzilla relies on plot armor, or help to win fights, but almost every Godzilla has the same issues. Every Godzilla has plot armor, which makes it annoying when it comes to peeps putting him against other Gojins. However, it didn't start off like this. The idea stirred up in Godzilla vs. Kong originally. This was due to the terrible directive idea to make Godzilla seem so powerful, by having him beat the crap out of Godzilla to set up a team-up with Kong. This soon started to come up, as in every fight Monsterverse has and had plot armor. While true to an extent, his enemies got the same thing. Remember the scene when Godzilla puts Ghidorah to a building, and the fight looks close? Well, wouldn't luck be on Ghidorah's side because right behind him was a generator to power up? How convenient! So where does MV Godzilla scale on the spectrum? Well, there's two ways people scale him. One is the casual way of what do we actually see him do in the movies and comics. The other goes deeper into the info, so let's try both ways. In 2014, Godzilla's most impressive feat was the kiss of death on the female Muto, which blew her head off. The second was a tail whip that was strong enough to impale the male Muto to a building. As far as durability, he tanked to nukes like nothing. One used specifically for him in the 50s and the modern one after fighting the Mutos. He remained unaffected by both bombs damage-wise. Even though he reacted to getting shot by missiles, they never harmed him until some hit the gills. He also survived getting jumped by both Mutos, just long enough so the humans can separate them with their own plan of destroying the next. But as far as help goes, except for the humans separating the Mutos, Godzilla did all the real fighting himself. The humans never directly harmed the Plutos, just blew up their nest to get their attention. Goji's feats in 2019 include pushing Ghidorah around frequently with his arms, and even the atomic breath knocking the Hydra completely over or pushing him far back. There's also the feat of charging into Ghidorah and stopping him completely in his tracks. There's also the overlooked feat of Godzilla tossing Ghidorah, and this version of the three-headed dragon weighs 141,000 tons. As for durability, Godzilla survived multiple graviton beam shots from Ghidorah, a pulse attack, being dropped from the stratosphere, and an oxygen destroyer missile. And then there's Thermo Godzilla, who not only melted Ghidorah into a head in 3 pulses, but also took 0 damage to the gravity beams, and was hot enough to melt everything around him. Then there's 2021, and here's the whole controversy. Cause there's so much left out info in GVK that's inconsistent. So it makes it harder to scale anything. But to get the casual version out of the way, Godzilla managed to beat down Kong into a heart attack when he took the ape seriously, after the axe hit. But for the majority of the movie, Godzilla was toying with Kong for entertainment. Meaning while Kong was fighting to survive and trying, Godzilla wasn't even going all out. Until here. As far as durability goes, he was hit a couple times by Kong and obviously wasn't seriously hurt. He got stabbed in the thigh by Kong's axe and didn't show a big reaction to it, and almost died after getting beaten to exhaustion by Mecha G. So with all this, It's safe to say to a casual person that MV Godzilla is pretty tough. Definitely on the higher end of the power stick. But now it's time for the more complicated and more high-tech side of things, with outputs and all. And where to put Monsterverse Godzilla in terms of the scale system. From what we know in GVK, the Hollow Earth is another realm closer to Earth's core, and humans were crushed on the way there from a gravity inversion in space-time. But the Titans all originate from there and go in and out as they please, giving them insane durability. But wait, there's more. Aside from the Mechagodzilla Mr. Hayes, Kong was one of the Titans to be able to go in and out the Hollow Earth, and Godzilla still managed to basically kill him, giving Godzilla for D levels of strength. Same can be said for the Mutos. Though it is unclear if Ghidorah can handle it, but given the fact it's a dragon from space, it's likely he can too. But the atomic breath was at its peak the majority of this movie, and the one scene in GVK, which we'll chat later about. Like I said before, the atomic breath kept knocking Ghidorah around whenever Godzilla lands a hit, and Godzilla himself threw Ghidorah, but repeatedly kept pushing him around wherever they go. Like before, Godzilla basically put Kong in his place after the axe blew up in his face, which resulted in Godzilla moving faster than he's ever fought before, and even showcasing his jaw strength as he tosses Kong hard enough to dislocate his shoulder. Now for Godzilla's biggest atomic breath feat, or at least the one that gets attention and a lot of shots in Godzilla edits. For context, Godzilla detected Mechagodzilla's signal in Hong Kong and stored up power on the way, but when Kong triggered the axis to glow, Godzilla decides to use all that energy for another purpose, to drill all the way into the Hollow Earth. So where does all this info scale MV Godzilla? Well, if we go with the casual version, he's pretty out there, with the contender being Heisei Gojira. But applying the hidden info from GVK puts Legendary as one of the strongest versions of Godzilla. But this doesn't mean we all have to like the guy. That's up to your own preference. But you shouldn't downgrade the feats of a character just because you don't like them. But not over-exaggerate because you love it. Power scaling requires balance, but there isn't AMV. Godzilla to balance opinions. Thank you for watching till the end if you did. Consider subscribing and commenting so I know if this is a good idea. And be on the lookout for the 2014 rework prediction coming tomorrow.